3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload. Double kill.
Now watch me NaeNae. Now watch me whip. Watch me NaeNae. Now watch me whip. Watch me NaeNae. Now watch me whip. Watch me NaeNae.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Gaming, and today we have a little bit of a different style to these montage videos. I feel like I need to speak on this, being a Brigitte main myself, but for those of you who've been living under a rock, Brigitte has gotten what's being considered a nerf by some, a buff by others. So she's had this problem ever since being introduced in the game of being a very overpowering character. She's able to run down people and just 1v1 the majority of the Overwatch roster. And so Blizzard's trying to make a couple changes so that she's not as overbearing, but we'll see if that's the case. There's going to be some gameplay in the background while I'm talking. And then we'll finish out the video with some more gameplay without me talking, so you'll have to deal with me for a second here. I just want to kind of talk about this, say what I think, and then see what you guys think as well in the comment section below. But according to the developers, Brigitte's Shield Bash is a strong ability that often feels difficult to counter. This change will offer new options for counterplay, enabling shield tanks to better protect themselves and their teammates. Reducing its damage reduces her total stun combo damage potential while still allowing whip shot and her basic melee attacks to retain their full strength. Brigitte is a tank / healer hybrid, and lately we've been reducing her effectiveness by lowering the power of her non-healing functionality. We want to make sure that she is still a viable pick, so we are increasing the uptime of her Inspire passive ability to help improve her overall healing output. So essentially what they're attempting to do is take away her damage dealing potential. So they didn't do anything to her basic melee, which is just her swinging her flail back and forth, which does 35, if I remember correctly, damage per hit, and then her whip shot does 70. They didn't do anything of that, but the shield bash that used to do 50 is now decreased to 5. So they're trying to take away that combo. One of the biggest things Brigitte is known for is the one-shot combo to Tracer, which you do 50 damage from the shield bash, then you flail her once, the basic melee, for 35, making 85 for those who are following along, and then a whip to follow that up, which does math is hard, but it's 155 damage, which Tracer only has 150. So Brigitte was able to one-shot her if you caught her with the shield bash, because it kept her stunned there in place for a second, then you just quickly swing your flail and whip shot her really quick before she's able to blink or recall, and then that kills her. So that was one of the problems. Like, Brigitte was put in the game to not stop dive, but to help counter it. But she effectively stopped it because she was able to just kill tracers, and then other things also didn't want to dive on her because she was able to take them on pretty regularly. So they're trying to make it where she can't totally take them on by herself and kill them, but she's still big enough of a threat standing in the back line that you're gonna have to think twice before diving on the Zenyatta or an Ana. So the biggest thing here, of course, we got that. They also talked about how the shield tanks can do their jobs better. So before, Brigitte was able to shield bash through the tanks, and this was the biggest problem for Reinhardt because he would drop his shield then. With Orisa and Winston, their shield would still stay up, but they'd still get stunned, and it's kind of annoying for him. But the biggest thing was with Reinhardt, he'd drop his shield, and then his whole team could just get shot down while Brigitte starts juggling the Reinhardt around. So they changed that. You can still walk to the other side of the shield and bash them, but it's a little bit harder because then you are turning to hit them so the enemy team can hit you as well. But the big thing is they're trying to make her more of a healer, of course. So the Inspire passive, for those of you who aren't aware, when Brigitte hits somebody, she activates Inspire, which shoots out an aura of healing to herself and people around her. I forget the exact radius of it, but before the cooldown used to be 1.5 seconds in between its aura blast. So you'd hit somebody, and the aura would go out, but it wouldn't reset that aura hit for 1.5 seconds. So the aura would go out, and then you'd have to wait 1.5 seconds for another aura to go out. Now they are decreasing that to 1, so it's not a huge change, but you can essentially send more auras out if you're hitting every 1 second. And then the duration of that aura is 5 seconds to was 5 seconds, now it's 6 seconds. So you're getting an extra second of healing from that first aura. So it's a little hard to grasp onto that because she's sending out a pulse. That pulse lasts for 6 seconds now, and she can send out a new pulse every 1 second, as long as she's hitting. And then the total increase the total healing from each pulse used to do 80, now it's 100. So she's effectively healing more because she's healing longer. So that extra 20 health comes from that extra second of duration time for the Inspire. So the problem that people are seeing with this, obviously, is first off, with not being able to stun through shields. One of the biggest counters to Brigitte was Brigitte herself. So if you had an enemy Brigitte trying to back away with their shield up, you could run up and bash them, and then your team could mow them down. Now you can't do that anymore because shields can't be bashed through. So it's a little bit harder to take her out because you can't make her vulnerable for an amount of time. She can just back up with her shield up. You can't make her drop it. You can still flail through it, but you don't get the added bonus of the rest of your team being able to run her down as well. And then, of course, with the increase to her healing, Inspire also heals Brigitte, so she is getting more health to be able to do these fights. So she's becoming tankier, which she is supposed to be a tank and support hybrid. So you're taking away that damage she's dealing, but she's still able to live long enough to be able to take on those fights, and you'll see that kind of in this video here too, as we're going, that you can still kind of do those fights because you're still taking, you're healing yourself more. Now, I'm going to put out a disclaimer. All of the montage videos you're seeing in this, all the montage footage, I should say, in this video are in quick play, which is just a chaotic landscape. So it's a lot easier to do this kind of stuff, whereas in competitive, typically, I put air quotes around typically, there's more team play going on, so don't expect to be able to do this kind of stuff as much in competitive, especially against teams that know what they're doing. But you can still pull off some big plays with Brigitte, I think. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this. Obviously, I like being able to do everything with Brigitte because she is my main, but I can see how people are frustrated with this. So if you do have input on it, be sure to leave it in the comment section below. Keep it civil, guys. We don't want to create a toxic atmosphere here. As funny as it can be in videos, not in our comment sections, please. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. We'll see you guys next time.